In the last episode, we got ourselves back on track in the Champions League, but we had a little bit of a wobble against Brighton in the Premier League. Luckily, Manchester City had a bigger wobble. The question is, have we taken advantage of Manchester City's little wobble? And today, are we going to move on, consolidate ourselves at the top of the Premier League and take one step towards the knockout stages of the Champions League? Come with me and find out. Hello and welcome to episode 82 of Making Chelsea Stand Proud. My name's Mark, and on today's episode we have two games for you. A Premier League game against Manchester United at Stamford Bridge, thankfully. And then we have a Champions League league phase match day 6 game over the border into Scotland. Up there with Rangers, the Scottish champions, I think. It's either that or Celtic. It's one of the two, isn't it, normally? But since you were last with us, as you remember in the last episode, Manchester City losing 3-0 to Brentford at the end of the episode, just as we had a wobble and thought they were going to open a bigger gap on us. We actually managed to close the gap at the top of the table by 1 point. And since then, we've played one game. We've played Wolves. A 4-1 win. It wasn't as straightforward as it looks, I'll tell you, because Declan Rice had scored on 0-0 at half-time. Declan Rice scored on 49 minutes, and then Guedes got Wolves level after 65 and thought, here we go again. Here we go. So we had a bit of a juggle around to sort out, but Raheem Sterling seemed to just, he just had a player of the match game. He seemed to sort of pull himself together, and on 71 minutes got us the lead. Added to that on 81, 10 minutes later, making it 3-1, and Rodrigo rounding it off on 87 minutes, making it look very, very comfortable. And I say for long chunks of that, really, for the first sort of 70 minutes or so, it wasn't comfortable at all. In fact, I could say that 80 minutes, it wasn't comfortable. But we got there in the end. A good game by Raheem Sterling. In fact, a player of the match game against him, and we managed to step up and beat Wolves in that one. It was, as I say, it was a bit of touch and go at times, but we got there in the end. And as you'll see from the table, it does mean that we go top, having played 15 games. Our opponents today, our first opponents, Manchester United, still have that game in hand, but they are some 11 points behind us, even though it's a 6-pointer today. Don't really want to lose to them. If we can beat them, it opens the gap up even more. If we lose to them, they're on 27. So I suppose on 27, on 28. So they're still 8 points behind us. But it would be good not to lose to them. So top of the table at the moment, 36 points. Manchester City tucked in there in second on 35, and the reason why I will explain to you in just a moment. Then come quite a gap, 10-point gap down to Liverpool, who are in third place on 26 points. Newcastle in fourth, doing very, very well on 26 points. Then Manchester United, as we said, with that game in hand. So theoretically, if they were to win that game in hand, would be in third place. So they would be tucked in behind Manchester City. And then Sheffield United and Tottenham taking up the other European places as it currently stands on 24 points. Then Brentford down in 8th on 23 in the relegation zone. Norwich, Aston Villa, West Ham, who are being cut adrift even from 19th place at the moment. They are not doing well at all. So that's where we're at. But what I was going to point out to you, of course, if we go into matches, fixtures and results, and we go back a stage, you'll see that Manchester City only managed to draw a 1-1 draw against Leeds United, and in fact they were going to the second defeat in a row, apart from the fact that Jack Grealish got the equaliser on 90 minutes. For a long while it did look as if they were going to lose that, and our gap at the top in that instance would have been some 2 points. No, if they'd lost that, they gained a point, didn't they? Yes, it would have been 2 points. So it wouldn't have been a massive, but it would have still helped. But as it is only a point. But the other notable one there in last results was Leicester beating Tottenham by 6-1. Tottenham not having their own way so far this season, that is for sure. Brentford going very well, beating Arsenal, beating Manchester City, and now they've beaten Arsenal. They're not to be pushed over, our Brentford. We have played them, haven't we? We did. We beat them 5-0. What can you say? They've just suddenly turned a corner or what? I'm not too sure. But there you go. Going to quick look at the dynamics from the last... Is it dynamics we want? Data hub, actually. That's what we want. Last match. Last match. Overall momentum. You'll see against Wolves, we were sort of like, yeah, they weren't really in it. They managed to get little toe holds in, but nothing substantial. So we were well on the path there. It was just a matter of time to actually get and succeed. Sorry about that. Get and succeed in that game. One other thing to note then is a quick look at the two games that we've got today. Manchester United first up. We've played them 7 times in this series so far. Beaten them twice, drawn with them 3 times, and lost twice. It's even Stevens at the moment. With regards actually at Stamford Bridge, we've drawn 1-1, so the omens are quite good. It seems to be at Old Trafford that we seem to struggle somewhat, but that game a little bit later in the season as it stands. Rangers, I don't believe we've actually played them before. We haven't, so that's foreign territory for us as it stands. Right, without any more to do, let's get into the games. Get in and have a look at Manchester United and the team that will face them for our first game of the episode. It's a Premier League game, and we're looking to do something. In fact, go back, Mark. Go back a couple. Can we? He's done it wrong. Fixtures and results. Who are Manchester City? Manchester City are playing Liverpool. Now, there you go. Second and third. That has its own connotations, doesn't it? In some ways, Liverpool beating Manchester City would do us the world of good. Let's go and have a look at the team that will face Manchester United in today's game. And this is the team that will face Manchester United at Stamford Bridge in this Premier League game. It's Maganan, he's back in goal. Karnasecchi's, he's been all right, but he's a little bit wayward. And if you look at the average ratings, Karnasecchi's just dropped down very slightly below the average rating of Magnan. So Magnan's back in. It's up to him whether he stays there or not. Cucurella, Rice, Garcia and James make the rest of the defence up, where we've had an injury to Koulibaly, and Wesley Fofana is on a yellow card, or will be on a yellow card, so we'll need to... inevitably he's going to pick up a yellow card at some point or other, but we just need to nurse that one at the right time, possibly when Koulibaly is back properly from injury. Dewsbury Hall and Kante are in central midfield, with Sterling, Mount and Otavio making up the attacking midfield. Sterling, of course, switching to the left side. It normally plays on the right. He prefers to be on the left, which is strange enough, but we tend to play him more often than not out on the right. He had a great game out there last time, so we'll see. Otavio likes to play out on the left, but playing him on the right today. Havertz leading the attack up front, plays very well with Mason Mount, of course, and then Karnasecchi, Fofana, Savic, Tell, Chilwell, Fernandes, Rodrigo, Koulibaly and Kovacic making up the bench. And this is how the two teams line up. Pochettino is the manager at Manchester United in this particular sphere. Their team looks like this. Urga Khan in goal. Ram, Varane, Maguire and Dalot are the defensive line. Casemiro is the defensive midfielder. Ericsson and Hansen Arden in front of him, with Rashford and Pino, who we tried to sign earlier in the episode, didn't want to come to us, went to Manchester United instead. He's the two wide players, and they are behind Jonathan Davids, who is playing up front on the bench. We have Dean Henderson, Malaysia, Hannibal, Valijo, Sanchez, Stash, Cantero, Mancini, and Barry. That's how the two teams look then. And confirmation of those two teams for you on the screen. First highlight, 27 minutes in, and Mount's been tackled and lost the ball, which is unusual for Mason Mount. They come in forward, and long ball goes out wide. Rashford's there, and cut back, but Kante doing a good bit of defensive midfield work there. Havertz has the ball, crosses it for Sterling, who's on a bit of form at the minute, and the goalkeeper making the save. 41 minutes in, Urga Khan with a goal kick to Maguire as the ball comes out, and tracking it back, and Mount winning that ball. Sterling has it to Rice, Cucurella, Kante finds Havertz finds James into the area. He's been tackled and failed, nothing given, and Rome comes away. Rashford gets away from his markers, nice through ball to David, and he's in the area, and well saved by Maganan. And that save was from Rashford, and Maganan in the right place. Mason Mount with the ball. Kante's lost the ball. Just Rashford is the danger man here. He's all over the place. Rome to Rashford. Rashford finds David. Ericsson. Rashford. He's been tackled by Kante. Mount. Ericsson. Garcia, should I say. Rice. Rice finds Mount. Back to Rice. Dewsbury Hall. Rice. Garcia. Kante puts that out wide looking for Otavio, but it was a poor ball in the end. Rashford tidying up. And Havertz is in. Havertz puts it away. 1-0. 25th goal of the season, right in the second minute of added on in the first half. Didn't realise we got quite so late in the game. It was a poor pass. Who was that passed that ball? Hansen Aaron. Poor ball to Havertz, and Havertz doesn't leave those begging. And that was the final highlight of that first half. Puts us a nose in front on 47 minutes. 9 shots, 4 of which been on target, 0.72, so roughly 50%. 44% of the possession against Manchester United, 7 shots, 1 on target, 0.54. They've had 56% of the possession. I think he did say in the sort of preamble that they were a possession-based team. So, but that's good for a start. We'll be happy with that. Of course, playing the early game, there's a raft of 3 o'clock games, and then Manchester City and Liverpool, the one we were interested in, kicks off at 5:30, and then Norwich will play Brighton at 7:45. Good first half. Let's hope for more of the same in the second. 57 minutes in, first highlight of the second half, and it's a Manchester United highlight. Ball forward. Cucurella tidying up. Garcia back to Maganan. Garcia to James. Dewsbury Hall. Garcia. James comes forward into their half, and that ball through, but it was cut out. Well tackled. It was the Mason Mount trying to get through. I think it was Varane who blocked him off. Our only goal coming from a gift, really. A mistake by their defence. Oh, and Pino was in. And with 67 minutes on the clock all but, we're making 3 changes. Reece James, who's tired and got a yellow card, he's coming off. We move Garcia out to the right. Fofana comes on in central defence for Garcia, effectively. Mason Mount, who's also tiring. We've brought on Matthias Tell for him, but Havertz can play in that attacking playmaker role, so he drops back into that attacking playmaker role, and Matthias Tell takes up the attack. And finally, Kante in the midfield, tiring a little bit, but not having such a good game either. And we've brought on Kovacic to replace him, can still make 2 changes. Dewsbury Hall with a free kick on 17 minutes. It's cleared, but only as far as Otavio. Otavio back out to Dewsbury Hall. Seemed to stand in the same place. Oh, he's headed in, and Havertz heading it over the top. And with 78 minutes on the clock, we're making our final change. Matthias Tell's gone out to the right. Havertz gone back up on the attack. And Savic has come on. We've taken off... So I say 1. We've got final 2 changes, of course. Savic has come on. We've taken off Otavio, who was a yellow card and looking ill-disciplined and not having a great game either. And Rodrigo has come in on the left. And he has replaced Raheem Sterling, or did we do that just now? No, I think... I'm not sure. Do you know? I can't remember what we've done. But anyway, Rodrigo is in on the left. Khan. And we are in the first minute of 4 added on. Garcia heading that to Cucurella. And it was Sterling coming off and Rodrigo coming on. That through ball to Rodrigo, but Rodrigo not up to speed, obviously. And Manchester United come forward. Cucurella doing well. Rodrigo now. It's Savic that won that ball, but Sanchez, Viejo, careful, and Maganan making a save that could save our blushes. That was a good shot. Maganan down to it quick. Ericsson swings it in. It's headed clear by Gus Fofana, I think, actually. Havertz, and it's gone out. There are no more highlights. We've hung on to that 1-0 win. A Kai Havertz gifted goal, in effect. Very tight game, of course, but gifted to Kai Havertz by a poor back pass. And he sprung into action and won that. But Maganan actually coming back from an enforced... Well, not enforced. Yeah, we forced it on him to sit on the bench for a few games. I think it's focused the mind a little bit. And he's come back. He's got a clean sheet. He will be happy with that. That is how it stands. 20 shots, 11 on target, over the 50%. 1.41, 45% of the possession. They had 13 shots, just 3 on target. 1.02, 55% of the possession. We'll take that. That's another 3 points in the pot. And what we'll do now is we will come back after the round of games for the day and see how we are positioned in the table. Well, it looks like Manchester City might have hit the rocks. That's the 3rd game in a row they've not won. This time, 5-1 they've lost at the Etihad to Liverpool. They will be absolutely thinging themselves. Liverpool, I think we thought might just be able to beat them, but a draw, I guess, would have been fine. But as it stands, we've got a 4-point gap at the top of the table now over Manchester City in 2nd place. Liverpool coming fast now in 3rd, but they're still 10 points away from us. So we've got a nice little gap from them. Then come Newcastle on 27. Tottenham 5th on 27. Tottenham beating Aston Villa today. Manchester United, who we've beaten, down in 6th on 25 points. I mean, to be honest, we're some 14 points clear of them now. And then Sheffield United taking up the last European place at the moment on 24 points. Leeds, Aston Villa and West Ham down in that bottom bit. West Ham losing again, this time to Leicester. Newcastle and Leeds a 1-1 draw. So it's all going on. Norwich managing to pull themselves out of that bottom 3. So again, with a 1-0 win against Brighton and at the thingy of Leeds. So that's how it's panned out for the day. Let's get on with the second game of the episode then. This time, a bit of an unknown quantity. We take a trip up to Ibrox and we face the might of Rangers. Rangers, let's just go and have a quick look at Rangers. They are currently in second place in the Cinch Premiership. Scottish Cup winners. I don't think they've won the league for a while, actually. History. Here we go. So in the last few seasons, I think second. The last time they won the Premiership in Scotland was 2021. So they're the bridesmaids in most cases, and I suspect they're the bridesmaids to Celtic up in Scotland. But anyway, we face them for this second game. Let's go and have a look at the team that will face Rangers. Well, it was a little bit of unexpected, but you come back and we have the draw for the third round of the FA Cup. So we'll have that draw as it is. And get the draw underway. 64 teams left in the draw. Stevenage and Derby will play Swansea. Notts County will play West Brom. Barnsley and Forest Green will play Everton. Coventry will play Luton Town. Southampton will play Carlisle. Carlisle of the Vanarama National League. Sheffield Wednesday Championship will play Portsmouth, also of the Championship. Crewe will play Birmingham. Weymouth, Vanarama National League, will play Millwall or Rochdale. Blackpool will play Reading. Bournemouth will play Nottingham Forest. Few all Championship ties coming out here. Plymouth of League One will play Leicester of the Premier League. Good tie for them. Norwich City will play Charlton. Fulham will play Fleetwood or Salford. Blackburn will play Tottenham. Good tie for them as well. Bolton will play Colchester. Solihull Moors or Stockport County will play Stoke. Huddersfield will play Barrow. Barrow of League Two, I'm guessing. Indeed. Sunderland will play Peterborough. Hull City will play Middlesbrough. West Ham will play Wigan. Cardiff City. Wigan will fancy their chances there, the way West Ham are at the moment. Cardiff City will play Brentford. Brentford going very well. Of course, Manchester United. Now, this is where we draw them again. Having just played them, we don't. Rotherham of League One. Oh, no, they're in the Championship now, Rotherham. Okay, playing Manchester United. Good tie for Rotherham. Kidderminster Harriers or AFC Wimbledon will play Liverpool. It's a good tie for them as well. Arsenal will play Ipswich Town. Newcastle will play Brighton, an all Premier League tie, that one. Crystal Palace to play Manchester City. Sutton United or Lincoln City will play Watford. Bradford City will play Leeds United. And here we are. We are at home in the FA Cup and will face Wolves, who we've beaten just recently. We face them again. It's an all Premier League tie. We'll draw the rest of the draw. And here is the full draw. I will go down slowly if you want to spot your team. Coming out quite low down the draw. In fact, there couldn't have been a lot left to draw. In fact, there wasn't. So Wolves we will play. Let's go and have a look and see who we will play or when we will play that. There we go. Wolves tucked in there now. Second weekend in January. So that's one for the future as we then face our final two Champions League phase matches as we get down in amongst that. Right, let's go back and have a look at the team that will face Rangers. And here's the team that will face Rangers in this Champions League phase, match day 6. 2 games left to play after this, of course, and we'll see how we end up. This is the team then that will face Rangers. I am tempted to put Carnesecchi back in goal for this one. It'll come back and haunt me, no doubt. Carnesecchi in goal then for this one. Chilwell, Rice, Garcia and Timber, our defensive line. Dewsbury Hall and Savic in central midfield. Koeman, Mount and Sterling are attacking midfield. Sterling moving back over to the right, as you will notice. Just checking to see whether Koeman likes to play. He's inverted winger, that's right. Habits up front leading the attack then, and on the bench we have Maganan, Cucurella, Otavio, Tell, James, Kovacic, Rodrigo, Koulibaly, Kante, Barbosa, Fofana and Fernandes. And this is how the two teams line up. They're playing a 4-2-3-1. Very similar to us, and we're playing in our Wasps outfit. And here's a look as the teams come out at the two teams. Baxter in goal for Rangers, an ex-Chelsea player. First highlight, and it's a free kick from Rangers. 20 minutes on the clock, but Koeman tied in up there, and it's a long ball fired up. Havertz is there, and oh! Baxter had run out to try and cut Havertz off, and yeah, well, that was a bit of a funny highlight, I have to say. But Rangers on the ball again, looking very dangerous, and through, gone wide though. Rangers again having the highlight. Vargas, oh, cut out though, and Garcia gets it forward to Mount. Mount finds Koeman. Havertz, it's defended well. It's still bobbling around there. Havertz has another go, but the goalkeeper picking it up. Ridovan with the throw in. Lots of highlights in this first half. Mount trying to win the ball off of the player, bothering them. And Mount trying to get in there, but Ridovan, oh, and 2 tackles have been missed. And need to be, it's Timber has sorted it out in the end, though. Ridovan wasn't going to get the better of him, and he comes forward. Wall to Dewsbury Hall. Koeman's into the area, crosses it in. Dewsbury Hall, it's cleared off the line, and do or die stuff by Rangers, but they're on the counter now and outnumbering us. We've got to be careful here. But straight into the arms of Carnesecchi. No more highlights in that first half. We were doing right. 11 shots, 3 on target. That's pretty good. Not 50% though. 1.88. 43% of possession. So again, we midfield seems to be a bit lax. Rangers have had 4 shots, just the 1 on target, which Carnesecchi saved. 0.39 on the old XG. We were in 9th place. We slipped down to 10th with other results going on around us. Rangers down in 13th. One of us needs to get a result, really, to pull us up here. If we were to win, we would end up being somewhere around 6th or 7th at the moment. In fact, their goal difference is far superior than ours. And we don't look like scoring a boatload of goals. So we would be sort of just inside that area in front of Barcelona. I presume Barcelona are winning, are they? Where are Barcelona? They are winning, beating Monaco by a goal to nil as it currently stands. Basically, we need to win. And the first highlight of the second half, 51 minutes on the clock. We have the highlight. Sterling having that ball through to Sterling. Sterling's in, and it's taken a deflection. She's gone out for a corner. Rangers defending very, very well. It's one of their issues. Chilwell with the corner then. Can we score from the corner? No, it's been headed back out. And another corner. Keep the pressure on. Swung in. It's cleared again this time. Savic is there. Savic's been tackled. Savic, he's cut his man down and he's going to get... And with 65 minutes on the clock, we're going to make 3 changes at this point. Mason Mount is coming off. Havertz has dropped back into the attacking playmaker role. We've brought Matthias Tell on up front. Dewsbury Hall has come off in midfield, and we've replaced him with Kovacic. And we've also replaced Savic. Also, both of them not having a particularly good game in central midfield, and it looked like it on the possession stats. Kante has come on for Savic. Let's see if we can get a foothold in midfield. And our highlight, 78 minutes on the clock. And Rangers have the highlight, but it's been cut out by Sterling. Garcia now. As we come forward, Kante, Timber, Sterling, chips it over. Havertz is in space, puts it through. Matthias Tell just tapped it. And with 85 on the clock, we've got our final 2 changes. We've taken off Kingsley Coman, who's not had a bad game, but he's getting tired. Rodrigo comes on for him. And what I might do, actually, is swap these 2 around, because Rodrigo may be a bit more effective out there. We'll leave him as an inside forward. And the other change that we've made is we've taken off Joran Timber, who was playing on that back right-hand side, and brought on Reece James, a bit more of attacking force on that right. Just see if we can get a breakthrough. 1 goal will do it. And Rangers have a throw-in. Lewis with the throw. Looking for a way through. Oh, Wakehorst, who's come on, and he scored. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. 89 minutes on the clock, and we've gone a goal behind. Not what we expected. And Rangers, of course, Weghorst and Karnasecki. Question of offside, I think, when we get to see it. Here's the ball now. Ooh, no, I think actually he was just being played on by Reece James. James with a free kick. Garcia's headed it over the top. We're in the 5th minute of added time, and they are going to hold this one out as long as they can. They've all gone running out now, so it's going to be a long ball. Headed down, and it's all over. We've lost by a goal to nil against Rangers, and we are looking like we're going to end up in the playoffs for the knockout stage, because we'll show you the table in just a moment. But we've had 24 shots, 6 on target. It's nowhere near enough. 42% of the possession, 3.36 on the XG. They had 8 shots, just 2 on target, of which they scored 1, 0.64. 58% of the possession. It's not the best day at the office, that is for sure. And I might rue the fact that I played Karnasecki instead of Maganan. Well, certainly not the result we wanted then. And it's done us a bit of damage. We're in 12th place. Rangers in 10th. And we are 4 points adrift of Wolves in 8th place. The last of the places for the playoffs, straight into the round of 16. Which means that we're going to have to win both our final 2 games even to stand any chance. And then we've got to rely on a lot of these sides doing something in their last couple of games, which isn't what we want to do. So that's really hit us. A draw would have been okay, but A loss has put us well adrift, because even with one win won't get us into that top 8. As I said, it's looking very much like we are heading for the playoffs if we want to get through to the next round. Well, there we are. It's a disappointing end to the episode. I have to say, I did think we would get a result against Rangers. I knew it wouldn't be a cricket score, but I did think that we might just be able to beat them, even if it had been a 1-0 or a 2-0 or 2-1 or something like that. But I have to say, I wasn't expecting us to lose. A draw would have been all right, but yeah, a bit disappointed that. So, annoying. Right, Leicester we're going to play offline. We're coming back for Brighton and Leeds in the next episode. I've just realised, and I'm not quite sure how that's happened. I think it's because Middlesbrough game's been moved. We got Middlesbrough back-to-back around Christmas, so a couple of days before Christmas and then on Boxing Day. I'm not quite sure that's all worked out, but yeah, it has. We'll probably play one of those 2 games, and then we'll come back and Wolves Tottenham FA Cup 3rd round and the Premier League game, and then we got Freiburg and Manchester City, Stuttgart and Norwich. Both those games are must wins now, Freiburg and Stuttgart, if we are to stand any chance of being in the last 16 without going in to the playoffs of the Champions League. That's really annoying, but there you go. That's the episode. Hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification button. That will keep you up to date with all future episodes of this and our other series, To Be a Legend, and a new series that will follow this particular series here on the channel, and it will let you know as they are released. The other way of keeping up to date with what's happening, of course, is to follow me on Twitter at JustOffsideFM. That's the way to do it. New episodes of Making Chelsea Stand Proud, currently released every Tuesday and Friday at 4:15 p.m. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you for the next episode. It'll be episode 83. It's out on Tuesday. Until then, have yourself a very good weekend, and goodbye.